The first thing I want you to do before you even take a pen or a paper to start writing your goals is to evaluate yourself. If improving your English is one of your resolutions for the new year, 2024, now that we have roughly like 60 days remaining, then planning or creating a study plan is so vital. Being organized and thinking ahead can create a huge difference when it comes to accomplishing goals. And that is why in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the essentials that you need in order to prepare a successful English study plan. You better watch the video till the end because you don't miss it, do you? No, you don't. And as always, I'm Jay and this is Speak English with Jay. First thing I want you to do before you even take a pen or a paper to start writing your goals is to evaluate yourself. By evaluating yourself, I mean you need to know the areas or the aspects of English that you're really good at. How can you evaluate yourself? You can do this by asking your English teacher or your friend who is fluent enough to evaluate your strengths and weaknesses. You can also do that by taking online English questions, like when I ask you, what is your English level? Do you know your English level? If you don't know yet, then that is a really good place to start. We have 3 English levels. We have level A, B, and C. Level A English, that is A1 and A2, is beginner's level. Then we have the B level. We have B1 and B2, intermediate level. Then we have level C of English, C1 and C2. That is the advanced level of English. You better take an online test to check your English level before you go ahead and create that English study plan. Evaluating yourself kind of helps you know which aspects of the language will be studied more compared to the rest. If you really know your English level, then let me know in the comment section. Once you've evaluated yourself and you know your strengths and weaknesses, the second thing you're gonna do is create long-term and short-term goals. What do I mean by long-term goals? Long-term goals are large goals that you wanna achieve by the end of 2024. My long-term goal for 2024 is that by the end of 2024, I wanna be able to grasp and speak the American accent fluently because I love the accent and I wanna speak like an American. So find out what your long-term goal is. Your long-term goal can be passing an English exam by the end of the year, or just speaking fluently to other colleagues or speakers who are already fluent in the language. What is your long-term goal for 2024? You can share it in the comment section. Once you've decided on your long-term goal, break your long-term goals into smaller achievable goals. They can be aligned to months or weeks of the year. These ones are now called your short-term goals. Your long-term goals broken into smaller goals are your short-term goals. At the end of January, I want to be able to at least master one technique that will help me sound more American. It's really important to have short-term goals because having short-term goals will give you a sense of achievement as you reach them, hence motivating you to study more. In a simple language, let's say your long-term goal is to cross a river using a boat. Your short-term goal is to get into the boat, row the boat continuously. And when you row the boat and you see yourself moving, you'll be motivated to continue rowing so you get to the other end. Once you've created your long-term and short-term goals, the third step you're going to take is decide how you measure your success. Success can be measured in several ways. One of the ways you can measure success is by regularly taking English tests on the particular topic you are studying. And suppose you were used to taking 10 minutes to answer a simple English question and you wasn't even sure after answering if the question was correct or not. And now after studying, you take a few seconds to answer the same question correctly. Then that can be a measure of success. Find your way to measure success. You can also ask your colleagues or teacher to analyze your skills. If they listen to you and tell you you've improved, then that can be a measure of success. How do you think my American accent is? Do you think it sounds closer to the American accent, or do you think it's a little bit far from the American accent? Tell me that in the comment section. I'm really curious to know what you think about my accent. Deciding on how you measure your success and depending on the answers that you will get can help you find the most effective ways to study for yourself. The fourth thing you're gonna have to do when creating your study plan is plan your rewards. Rewards are basically tokens of appreciation after achieving a certain goal. Rewards are a great way to help you stay motivated throughout the year. And if you've read Atomic Habits, one of the ways stated in the book to help improve on habit is by attaching that habit to a reward. Make this a part of your plan, and they don't really have to be big rewards. They can be as simple as having a cup of coffee after achieving a goal. I really love having coffee in the morning, so I included it as part of my plan to help me achieve my goal. I can only have coffee in the morning after I finish listening to one English podcast with American accent. It kind of gets me excited to listen to the podcast because I know that after finishing the podcast, I'm going to reward myself with a cup of coffee. More challenging tasks can have bigger rewards, but just make sure that you're honest with yourself. Only have the reward once you've achieved that particular goal. The worst thing you could do is lie to yourself. You don't want to do that, right? The fifth essential to ensure that your study plan is successful is by doing the quick wins first. In other words, do the easily achievable goals first. It's really a good feeling to achieve a goal. So you want to make sure that your early goals are ones that you're sure of achieving. Starting in a positive way will help you stay motivated. Listening to a podcast in the morning is an easily achievable goal. When I wake up and listen to a podcast and learn from it, I feel motivated. It's a goal that I can easily achieve. Another example you can use is when you're starting to do a squat exercise. Doing the quick wins first means instead of starting with 30 squats every single morning, you can start with 10 squats every single month. 10 squats is easily doable compared to 30 squats at the start. This can be very helpful to some of us who are so impatient and will easily give up when you don't see the quick win. Sixth and final essential to creating a successful English study plan is adjusting the short-term goals as you go on. We all know that even the best plans aren't always perfect, right? If you realize that your short-term goals are not realistic enough, you can adjust them to make them more achievable. Me setting a short-term goal of listening to 3 podcasts in the morning is so unrealistic because I know that after the first podcast, I'll be a bit exhausted. That means that I will not be actively listening to the second and third podcast. To make it more realistic and achievable, I adjust my podcast to 1 podcast in the morning, which is more realistic because I will be more active and I'll learn a lot from the podcast. Short-term goals can also be adjusted the other way around. If the short-term goals are too easy or too quickly achieved, you can adjust them to be a little bit challenging but achievable. Adjusting on your short-term goals can help you catch up with your long-term goal or exceed your long-term goal. There we go. The 6 essentials that you need to create a successful English study plan. Now that you know the 6 essentials for creating a successful study plan, go and create your own English study plan for 2024. And the earlier you do it, the better. And as I always say, if you're an English learner who is interested in improving your English skill, then I highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss any of my English videos. And even if you're not a learner, but you think this video was helpful in some sort of way, then you can go ahead and support your girl J and subscribe, comment to help the channel grow. By the way, my long-term goal with this channel is to hit 1,000 subscribers by January 2024. That is all I had today, and see you in my next video. Bye.